What's going on, guys? It's Ben here from BH Aquatics, and in today's video I'm going to be addressing the problems with the last how to get rid of hair algae video. So the way I'm going to be addressing this problem is not through just trying to cope with what I gave you for information. I'm literally just going to give you an updated version with the new information that I have come across from members of fish clubs, people who have dropped me comments, different things like that. So I'm just going to lay it down for you. I don't actually have any hair algae in my fish room right now, but I did want to address this sooner than later, just so that people didn't continuously ask, because I actually do get quite a bit of comments. I get maybe 1 or 2 comments a week, which that may not sound like much, but after a while it adds up. Multiple people saying, oh, this is not how you do it, you should do a new video about how you really should do it, this is how you really should do it, different things like that. So in this video I'm going to elaborate upon the best possible way you can do this based on information that has been given to me from members of the local New England Fantasy Guppies Association club that I am a part of. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So like I said, I don't actually have any hair algae in my aquariums in the fish room at the moment, but what I can do is just tell you about it because it's extraordinarily simple. The way to do it, the way to get the things that you need to do this is extraordinarily easy, and it really is not that costly either. Simply, that's all you're going to need for this is obviously hair algae, because that's what you're trying to get rid of. So, I mean, if you're watching this video, you're looking to get rid of hair algae, so why wouldn't you have it? But you need the hair algae, just in case those of you are, I don't even know. And you need hydrogen peroxide, and you need measuring tablespoons, different things like that, different spoons that you can, tablespoons and teaspoons that you can do to measure out hydrogen peroxide. Now what the hydrogen peroxide does is, when put into an aquarium that has hair algae in it, it kills it almost immediately. Before I tell you the exact ratio of hydrogen peroxide per gallon and how you should go about putting it into a hair algae filled aquarium, I'd like to mention that hydrogen peroxide in higher amounts, it can kill off your fish, different things like that, but in the amount that I have provided has worked for multiple members of the local aquarium club that I am a part of, the New England Fantasy Guppy Society, who have been using this strategy for many years, throughout the many years that they have been in the club. So it is proven to be a functional way of getting rid of hair algae, and if done right, it is extremely safe. With that said though, depending on the amount of plants, like for instance if you have a tank that is filled with Java moss and you're trying to get rid of the hair algae from the Java moss, it's going to have to be more concentrated amount of hydrogen peroxide for you to use. Hydrogen peroxide you can pick up basically at any store, department store, Walmart, CVS, different things like that. I think you would, if you can't find it at Walmart, the best choice would probably be like a Walgreens or CVS, like a Rite Aid, some prescription company like that, pharmaceutical company, just because they have it for medical purposes and different things like that. I'm pretty sure it's an over-the-counter thing that you can buy, so I think you can just pick it up anywhere, as far as I'm concerned. But then again, since I don't actually have hair algae, I am completely basing this off of what the club members in the New England Fantasy Guppy Society say to me, though based on the amount of those members of that club that have used this strategy and have used it successfully, I know that it works, and I can tell you guys that it will work for you guys if done right. Now, let's get down to measurements. So this is the most important part. I believe what was said, I had actually sent out an email to the member of the New England Fantasy Guppies Society asked him what specifically the recipe was for this hydrogen peroxide mixture. It's actually really not a mixture, it's just hydrogen peroxide in and of itself, but he recommended 3 milliliters per gallon, and if you had an aquarium that was filled with like Java moss, different things like that, very dense plants that you were trying to rid the hair algae from, start off with 2 milliliters of hydrogen peroxide. It's that simple, but just make sure that those measurements are on the dot. Also make sure that you're treating every single day until the hair algae is completely dead, because if you don't, and there's just a little bit left, even a little bit, the hair algae will start popping up throughout the aquarium and take over once again. Obviously that would kill off the entire plan of trying to get rid of this hair algae with this hydrogen peroxide, and you'll be stuck at square one once again. So other than that, there's really nothing else to talk about, minus this one piece that he did mention later on in a text that he had sent me, that stated that if you have access to syringes, different things like that, suck up the 2 milliliters, 3 milliliters of hydrogen peroxide and put it as close to, inject it into the water as close to the hair algae as possible, just because that could also maximize the potentiality of killing off the hair algae the fastest way possible, rather than having to wait an extra couple of days because, you know, it's floating around the tank, it's cycling constantly. This way, when you squeeze it into the tank, it's right there. The hair algae will absorb it right when it's in its area. So other than that, there's really not much to it. That's all it's needed is 3 milliliters per gallon, and 2 milliliters per gallon if you have a dense population of plant growth. So I'm going to try this. You'll probably see this in a future update video of the fish room if I ever get hair algae, because this is the only tank that I have right now that is planted in the fish room, and it does not have any hair algae. So lucky me on the good bright side, but you guys will eventually see me trying to get rid of it. I might actually buy hair algae just to show you guys, if you guys have any wants of seeing it, the proof in the pudding, rather than just having me talk about it. But I am completely 99% positive. What's that 1% mean? It means that I am taking this from like 3 other people that have done it, so it's like since I haven't tried it myself, I don't know for sure, but they're very trustworthy people, and I'm sure this will work for you in the most positive way possible. Trying to use a different sense of words here, because I say other than that and different things like that all the time, constantly, but other than that, I mean, I really have nothing else to say here. I hope you guys have enjoyed this small update video, even though that I've talked for most of the time. If so, make sure you drop a like, subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next Sunday.